This is Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook. Today, we're going to be examining Scott and Laci Peterson. The murder of Laci Peterson. Scott Peterson. Laci Peterson disappeared on December 24th, 2002. She was 8 months pregnant. Scott is currently on death row, convicted of first-degree murder. He's sitting in San Quentin on death row. He's convicted of first-degree murder in the death of his wife, Laci, this woman, and he's convicted of second-degree murder in the death of the unborn child, Connor. She disappeared on December 24th, 2002. On April 13th, 2003, the baby, intact, washed up on San Francisco Bay. And they're from Modesto, California, which is outside San Francisco. So the baby washed up on April 13th, 4 months later, with 1.5 feet of nylon cord around its neck, but it was intact. They think that just got tangled around its neck, in the water, in the bay. On April 14th, the very next day, Laci's torso washed up. She was decapitated. Her forearms were missing. Her right leg was cut off. Her left leg was missing from the knee down, and she had 2 cracked ribs. So I think there's little doubt. I mean, the man is convicted of murder. I think there is little doubt that he murdered his wife and baby. He bought a fishing boat that no one knew about. He kept it at work. The body's washed up from the water. And there's a woman that he was actively dating that he told Amber Frey. He told her that he had lost his wife, actually the day that he secretly bought the boat, okay? Weeks and weeks before the murders. He told Amber Frey that and he started dating this girl. He told her he was not married and that he had lost his wife, that he was a widow. Well, he wasn't a widow. He's living with his wife and 8-month-old baby. So I want to do 2 relationship spreads just to kind of examine this. Like, what was going on with Scott and his wife Laci? What's going on in their relationship that this man murdered his wife? I mean, what's going on? And then I want to do another relationship spread on Scott and Amber. Was he was telling her, well, let's pick the king and the queen. In a relationship spread, you want to pick the king and the queen as significators. Here's the king. And there's the queen. Okay. So this is what's going on between Scott and Laci, his murdered wife. And Scott, he's feeling really blocked. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's see what we get here. All right. So in a relationship spread, this is Scott, this is Laci. What's going on with Scott? He's got ruler, roadblock, diamond ring. He just feels blocked from the ruler. He's the boss. He's in charge of his life. the marriage is blocking him. He just feels really blocked in this marriage. Like he can't live out his dreams. I think he had an opportunity to be a pro golfer. And he didn't end up doing that. He ended up selling fertilizer. He got married and ended up selling fertilizer. So he was a little upset about that. So he just felt really blocked in this marriage, really blocked and tangled up. So 13, 15, 20, again, roadblock. 20 is 5 spades roadblock. What's going on with Laci? Scapegoat, incubus, succubus, mustard seed. 6 is our relationship. 6 spades, it's just sex, or it's a really bad relationship. 6 spades is the worst relationship card. Scapegoat is outside. Mustard seed, she's got the baby growing inside her. So she just feels trapped in a very bad relationship, and she may be really thinking about divorce. Yeah. She just was, and maybe the scapegoat is, he's going outside the marriage and he's having affairs. 6 spades is an affair card, but another woman is not showing here. She's very dissatisfied with the relationship, extremely dissatisfied. She just feels like they're not together. 8 spades is an illness card. The relationship is very sick, and she's got this baby coming. She's 8 months pregnant. 7 and 8 is 15, which is 4 clubs. So she's just taking it day by day, but the relationship is just awful. Outcome here is 2 spades, 8 clubs, broken chalice, and city. City in a relationship spread is a stranger card. Broken chalice, the relationship is broken and they're like strangers. The relationship is broken and they're strangers. So he's feeling really blocked. She's just feeling like the relationship is just absolutely awful, and maybe he's having affairs, which he is. It later comes out that he had affairs with 3 women. 3 women came forward to tell about affairs that Scott Peterson was having with them, and he gave them all the same story, that he was not married, that he lost his wife, that she had died, and that he was a widow. This is 10, 3 diamonds. So, very bad relationship. She's extremely unhappy. He's feeling very trapped. Let's, okay, so just, that's, I don't think it's the right move to kill his wife. That's definitely not the right move. There is something called divorce, which is always a possibility, or separation. So he was dating Amber Fry, okay, and he was just calling her all the time, and he never let her know. He never let this woman, Amber Fry, know that he had a wife. He told her he lost his wife. On December 31st, there's a vigil for, looking for Laci Peterson, and there's still a presumption of innocence, and he's calling her up and Scott calls Amber Fry and tells her he's in Paris at the Eiffel Tower, and he's actually at a vigil for his wife. So I want to know, what's going on with him and Amber? Was he gonna marry her? What's going on? I'm just trying to get into this guy's head. Interesting. Was it all just lies? Is he like a psychopath who lies? What's the deal, man? He murdered his wife in 8 months. Life is up and down. Life is up and down. Extreme measures like murder, that's definitely frowned upon in society, and should be. So what's going on with him and Amber Fry? Okay, and I wanted to know, is he planning to marry her? So this is 21. So was he planning to marry her? No, he wasn't. Hamster wheel is just sharing the daily things of life. You know, everything in life, as it goes on, you just share stuff and you kind of... This is a card that will come up for people who are living together and hold everything in common. It's also a very heavy work card. Diamond ring, he was committed. He wanted the relationship with Amber Fry, but he didn't want to marry her, and he just wanted to share life. And this adds 21, which is 6 hearts, or karmic relationship. He wanted the relationship, but nothing more. He didn't want any responsibility. He wanted to enjoy the relationship. Okay, what's going on with her? Amber Fry. Okay, in the middle we have Coffin. Very interesting card. We have Mother Earth, and we have Yes. Okay, Yes in a relationship spread is she is looking at this guy as someone to marry. Mother Earth, she wants to have kids with him. 4 spades. Coffin is like dead. So this coffin could be the death of his wife, Laci, or it could be lack of emotions, lack of real emotions, but she doesn't look clever here. She's not showing up as the fox. She's not showing up as the snake or the fox or someone calculating. She's showing up as Mother Earth. She wants to have children with this man. I would say 4 spades is she's not emotionally committed to him. She sees him as someone to marry, but she's not engaged emotionally, which is a shock to me. So this woman he's having an affair with, she's not that into him. She is interested in him for someone to have children with and as a provider. That's interesting. He's interested in her as someone to have a relationship with, but he doesn't want to marry her. He's been to the fair and he's been to the circus. He's been on the rides and he's like, well, I don't know. That's how he's... Okay, so outcome here is hand in hand scourge. Yeah. So dating many people and lots of sex. Dating many people for sex. And this adds 9, which is 3 hearts, which is roses, which is another flirtation and sex card. So the outcome, he's just dating. Okay, he wants to be free. He was feeling very bound up in his relationship. It was coming, I guess it was all coming to a head. I mean, there was a baby about to be born, and he just didn't want the responsibility. Strangely, Scott is just a man who did not want to be married. He didn't. Scott Peterson, he just didn't want the responsibility. He was stuck in a bad relationship. He didn't want the responsibility. So let's recap here. In the first relationship spread, it was between Scott and Laci. Scott felt really stuck. He felt that he wasn't in control of his own life anymore. That's the King of Clubs in the center. He felt really blocked from living out his dreams and being happy. She had the worst relationship card in the center. She had 6 spades. She was just very unhappy. She had 8 spades. The relationship was very sick. And then she had the Ace of Clubs. She had the baby planted in her belly in a terrible relationship that she felt was just not working. They were just very unhappy together. I'm sure she was going to stick with it. None of those cards on her side were divorce cards. His cards were not divorce cards. At the bottom, they had the 2 spades, which is a divorce card. But their relationship was just going very badly. So concurrent with Scott's relationship with Laci, he dated 3 women, the last of whom was Amber Fry. So what was going on with them? He absolutely didn't want to marry her. He was just kicking it with her. He was very committed to kicking it with her and just enjoying the relationship. She strangely was not emotionally involved with him, but was very happy to have a child with him and put him in the, get him obligated to her for life to pay for that child. So strange. She was not emotionally involved with him. She wanted his baby. So her career choice was, let's have a baby with this man, Scott Peterson. And the outcome here is just dating around and having sex with lots of different women just for fun. So Scott, strangely, Scott is just, he was just somebody who didn't want to commit. He was in an unhappy marriage. He wasn't interested in committing to Amber Fry or any of the other ladies. He just wanted to enjoy his life and do what he wanted to do, and Laci Peterson was in his way, and so he murdered his wife and 8-month-old unborn child. He chopped them up. He chopped Laci up. He cut her head off. He dropped her in the bay. He bought a secret boat. He cut her feet off. He cracked her ribs while he was fighting with her. Just very sad. This is an interesting commentary on our culture now. Everybody here, including Amber Fry, they're all just incredibly selfish people. Amber Fry, who he's dating, there's no love here. There's no love here, which is amazing. There was no love in the Laci, in his wife's spread. I'm sure they started out loving. What a strange commentary on what the world is. There's no love. It's 3 very selfish people, and it ended in murder. And everybody is selfish. Nobody's thinking about the other person. Everyone's looking out for themselves, and he just sacrificed his wife and unborn baby Connor. He just killed him because he was selfish and it wasn't working out. Strange. Anyway, that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck on Etsy /Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook.